Hey guys, how you all doing? This is Victoria. I'm here to talk about my weight loss, my successful weight loss. This is my comfort zone that keeps me on track and that keeps me from saying bad words. I want to get monetized saying bad words. So hopefully every time I feel like I'm gonna cuss, word a pillow. So I'm here to talk about weight loss. My weight loss journey, it took me forever and a day. I was 398 pounds. 398 pounds. And it's been a hell of a ride. I cuss. My weight loss was a journey. It still is a journey. What they don't teach you all is when you get your LapBand, they want to do counseling on you all before you have any type of weight loss surgery done. But when you get it done, you're just overwhelmed. You're overwhelmed with you actually done it. The weight loss, the surgery, you actually done it. But what really got me was the fact that I was 197 pounds. That's when I needed counseling. I was getting scared. I don't know how to explain it. I felt like I was getting too skinny. I felt like the rest of my body wasn't catching up to my top because my top area was getting smaller than the lower part of my body. And I started looking small, and it was actually mine. It was a mind thing. It was like, just had me pretty much not knowing what I really want to do. Did I want to stay at 200? Did I want to pass 200 and go below 200? But having weight loss surgery is something that puts you in the mind of saying that you're headed in the right direction. Before I started losing weight, I had high cholesterol, high blood pressure. I wasn't borderline for diabetic, and I was not a diabetic. I just had high blood pressure and high cholesterol. When I decided to lose weight, it wasn't really on my mind. What was on my mind was being healthy, and the weight coming off wasn't in my mind. It wasn't on my mind. So I made an appointment to go to the doctor, and when I got to my doctor, I'm sitting on the table in an Indian style, and the doctor comes in, and the first thing she says to me was, "How long have you been like this?" No, not how you doing, no, how's your day, no, nothing. The first thing she said to me was, "How long have you been like this?" When that doctor said that to me, don't you know I just went from being energetic and self-assurance to distraught. I sat down in front of her and just cried, and I asked her to help me. I want to cry now, but I'm gonna try not to cry. Got my trusty pillow here. And she decided to help me, and she gave me a prescription with vitamins, and she gave me a diet plan. My diet plan was no more than 15% of sugar intake, 1,200 calories, and that was it. Now, when you get on this, when you start saying that I want to go on a diet, it's a lot more to it than just that. You have to really set your mind to want to lose weight. You got to know what you want. You have to be adamant. You have to be strong-minded. You have to be strong about it. You have to be determined to want to lose weight, because if you're not determined, then you're not going to lose any weight. because you're gonna give up within a month or two. I went from 398 to 300. Then my mom was diagnosed with lymphoma, so I went from 300 to 327 from depression. And after my mom passed away, let me go back. So when the doctor gave me a prescription for amphetamine, the amphetamine are for people that don't have that can keep their blood pressure under control. Even though I had high blood pressure, it wasn't to a point to where I couldn't take amphetamine. So I followed that diet, 1,200 calories, and the 15% sugar intake. I followed that to a T for months, and then I decided to do the exercise, and I went from 398 to 300. Now it took me a year and a half to lose 98 pounds. Within that year and a half, I tell you, I went through a whole lot. When you start losing weight, you start to have withdrawals. No one never told me about the withdrawals. I cried for 3 days straight because I wanted a pizza. And I just kept thinking about that pizza. My mama told me, baby, you need to go ahead and get that pizza, get it, eat it, and be done with it, and get back on course. I ordered the pizza. I had 2 slices, and I cried because I felt like I just messed up. But you learn you can't quit cold turkey. Not like that. People kept saying, Rome wasn't built in a day. You were not built like that in a day. You did not become like that in a day. It took you within time to become the size that you are right now. It's going to take you some time to get it on. And it's a lot of things that they don't get you prepared for when you get to a point of getting smaller and smaller. They don't prepare your mind for that. And so when I went, after my mom passed away, I left and went overseas, and I worked overseas for 4.5 years. But my first 5 months I was overseas, I came home and I made preparation for me to go get a LapBand. And I went to Monterrey, Mexico, Dr. Rodriguez, and I had a LapBand done there in Monterrey, Mexico. When I decided to get the LapBand, I was 398 pounds. So I went from 398 to 300. When my mom was diagnosed with lymphoma cancer, I went from 300 to 327. So when I went and had the LapBand, I was at 327. And when I went and got the LapBand done, and after the surgery, I was crying and I was actually smiling from ear to ear because I couldn't believe I did it. I actually did the operation. I'm going to lose weight, and it felt good. And so I went with the LapBand. I went from 327 to 193. That was with the LapBand. I've had my LapBand for 13 years. A lot of people that I run into and I talk to, they honestly think that once you get your weight loss surgery, that's it. No, it's not. You have to work hard. Now, the gastric sleeve is totally different from a LapBand. Now, I didn't know that when you get a gastric sleeve, that if you slip and start eating like you used to eat, that your stomach can actually expand. I didn't know that. I have a friend that had a gastric sleeve done, and the day that she had it done, I walked from my house to the hospital for her to let her know that this can be done with a little bit of work. I walked from my house to the hospital, from the hospital to back to my home, in memories of her having the operation, because she was headed in the right place. She was doing the right thing. The doctor had told her that if she don't get this weight off of her, that she will not be able to see her grandkids, that her organs would start shutting down. And that day they had a they had a party for her to give her the strength to have it done. When I went to that party and saw her, because I hadn't seen her in a minute, but then when I walked in there and my mind was like, wow, I didn't know she had gotten that big. She told me she was like 440 pounds, but I honestly think that she was more than that. You know, who wants to claim that they're 500 pounds or 550? But I cheered her on, and I told her that I would be there for her, you know, forever and always. There to cheer her on, losing her weight, her journey, the new journey that she was starting, and everything. And she said she was ready. But I didn't know that if you slip up and you start to eat like you used to eat, I didn't know your stomach could expand. In which she slipped, she started gaining weight. She actually gained, she still was 40 pounds, but I honestly think it was more than that. I just didn't say anything. But she always said, I wish I would have gotten what you got. A LapBand, once you start losing weight, you can tell that your LapBand is loose because you're starting to eat a lot more than you would normally eat. And that's when you know that your LapBand is loose and that you need to get it tightened. So every time you get it tightened, it's just like you've had the surgery done all over again. Then you have to go back to eating small amounts. Me, I love my LapBand. I've had my LapBand since 2008. I've had it for 13 years. My LapBand hasn't caused me no problems or issues. Everyone's different. Do I recommend LapBand? Everyone's different. I can't tell you whether or not I recommend it. I recommend it for me. Do I love my LapBand? Of course I love my LapBand. I wouldn't change it for the world. But if the doctor says that the LapBand is not for you, then it's not for you. If you want to do the gastric sleeve, you have to follow your diet to the T. You have to do your 2 weeks liquid diet before your gastric sleeve operation is done. This video that I'm doing is my journey on getting my skin removed after all the weight that I've lost. I've lost 207 pounds. And I'm still trying to get at least 15 more off before my surgery and maintain it before my surgery. Am I scared? Yes, I'm scared. I said to myself that if I don't get my skin removed before I turn 50, then it wasn't meant for me to get it done. That was going to stay with what I had until the day I die. And this day has come. I'm actually getting my skin removed off my tummy. When I went to visit the doctor for the first time, and I told him how much weight I lost,